Hello, everybody. Let's pop over here so you can see us. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is VooDoo Val, and I am joined here yet again by my very good friend, Cody Bear. How are you, Cody?
Hi Val, I am doing fantastic as always.
Excellent, excellent. I'm pretty excited for our episode today. I see we have so many familiar faces in the chat. I see Barbara and Apurva. Welcome in. Keys, thank you so much for joining us. Oliver, Patrick, RB, thank you for popping in today. I see Alessandra as well. And Alex, the Laz
Hey!
is in the chat. It's good to see you, man. Have a great stream, homies. Thanks, homie. And I believe, is it Jack or Wade with us today? I see both of them. It is good to have you both. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. Hello, Frank. Yes, so today is kind of a cool episode. Every once in a while, Cody and I do a little game of opposites. So one of us will eventually paint what you folks vote on for this episode, and the other will do the opposite. So we kind of get like the best of both worlds today. In true Val and Cody fashion, I think, is pretty on brand for us. So if you've never been into an episode of Drawing a Blank, this is the show where we go through a 3-part prompt. You folks can join the YouTube chat or stay over on Behance and pop out the YouTube chat so that you can vote in polls and basically let us know what we're going to be drawing and how today. And I'm going to pop over here to our work screen so you folks can see what our prompt is for today. We are fall foraging, okay? It's autumn, right? It's not winter yet.
Mhm,
It's autumn.
mhm.
Okay. We're fall foraging in the desert or the swamp today. So far we've collected herbs and either roots or fungus. And some of them glow in the dark or have faces. So we're going to be putting together a little foraging basket or a foraging scene for you folks today. And our very first thing for you folks to vote on is going to be whether we are in the desert or the swamp. So, like I said, head over to the YouTube chat so that you can see that poll, or pop out the YouTube chat, make yourself a little voting module as Cody and I get started here. How do you think you're going to set up your piece today, Cody?
I don't know. I think I'm kind of just gonna go with the flow today. I haven't really had anything like planned in my head, other than like maybe drawing a basket or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I think that I sometimes I come into these streams with like a plan in mind of like what I think the chat might vote on, or if they vote on different things, like this is what I might do. But sometimes I come in like with absolutely zero plan whatsoever, and that is one of those days.
Yeah, I feel like we usually sometimes we this is definitely a show of stuff just dawning on us sometimes,
Yeah.
which is kind of the fun of it because there is so much that chat gets to help us with. So, I mean, I've made the mistake a few times of coming into the stream like with a solid plan, and then I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, we didn't draw any of that. Like, well,
Yeah.
like our last episode where I was like, hey guys, here's what you choose, and everyone was like, you know what, Sabrina has this, so
Yeah.
we want to see Sabrina's work in your style. That's what they said. You're here too, Barbara. Awesome. So we have Barbara in YouTube chat and Behance chat. We have double Barbara today. Thank you. I feel like we can be swayed as an audience typically. This is true, Penny. This is. I feel like if we start this show and we're like, yeah, we're letting you vote between frogs and dogs, but spoiler alert, we like frogs a lot. Then chat's like, give it to them. Let them have it. I think mine's gonna be an inventory for
Mm.
today
Hmm.
because I love like those little inventory spreads. I'm gonna try to be kind to myself though and
Yeah.
not do like a big gigantic thing. Sometimes I'd be doing the show and I'm like, I could paint
We have
12
time for that.
things. Yeah. I I could do a lot, right? Maybe? I don't know. I'm just gonna lay out some weird boxes and we're gonna see how it goes. I don't know. All of my boxes are perfect except I got lazy on this last one and it's really pitiful. But that's what happens. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, folks. Got a vote? Yes. So let's see. We've got 13 votes already. Jeez. You guys
wow.
you guys are going for it. 69%, 71%, excuse me, for swamp.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I think we know who's claiming swamp.
Yeah.
I think we know who's claiming the swamp. Wow, 15 votes. Thanks so much, guys. We so look forward to seeing your participation and seeing what you guys choose for these shows. I get so excited about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I feel like I can read chat's mind, and I'm like, I think I know which one they're gonna favor. Every once in a while, you guys surprise me, though. Yeah, I think bigger boxes for this is gonna be the move. Let's do a big boy, which is the scientific terminology for chunky boxes.
Right.
You know, thanks for having my back on that one. Yeah, the big boy.
The big boy.
Welcome in, Robert. Good to see you. Stian, hello. Please be respectful if going to Shrek's swamp for foraging. You know what? Thank you for the advice.
PSA.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I think that's gonna be my layout right there. That looks pretty darn good to me.
Nice.
Umacorn times 2 as well. Wow. Welcome in. All right, I think it is officially swamp. I think we can go ahead and call it there because that's a good amount of votes. So I'm gonna make myself like a little note, and I'm gonna write swamp on mine, so that I
think I'm gonna do kind of like a swampy themed basket then, like kind of like a fantasy kind of like swampy theme.
Yes, indeed. I like that idea. Our next poll is going to be, we've collected herbs. Herbs are a given, I think, for fall foraging, but you get to decide whether we are also collecting roots or fungus. And I'm going to kind of draw a few ideas. I don't know if I'm going to get out of this challenge without at least one mandrake.
Right, of course.
This is a mandrake
especially
kind of
day. Especially like swampy. Like I feel like mandrakes fit more like swampy type stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes more sense.
Quick mandrake tutorial. Very simple. It's a carrot, but a guy.
True. So true.
He's a little carrot, but he's
like
a
here
grumpy
he is.
Man. Yeah. We're drawing the same thing. We're drawing the same thing, except I'd be more stoked to meet yours than mine. I like your little scribble mouth.
Yeah, I like doing those little angry mouths.
Oh yeah. Val, I felt very left out of your MagicCon event lineup yesterday. Wanted to be a keynote speaker. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Keys. I was at the very end of the stream. I for those of you who are curious, I'm doing the Express challenges right now. And I am doing fictional branding for an event called MagicCon, and I added a lot of people from the chat to the CSV file to like make
fun.
multiple lanyards, you know, which was a good time. But I got to like the last 5 minutes of the show and was like, oh, I forgot I'm on a time limit.
As always.
Yeah.
When doesn't that happen to us?
A lot. A lot. It's almost always happening to us. And so I kind of added stuff quickly, and I did not put everybody on the CSV file, unfortunately. But who knows, Keys? Maybe you will be added at a later date. There are 5 more challenges. This is a 6
You never
challenge
know.
set. Yeah. Do you think mandrake greens are edible, by the way? This is a serious question.
I've wondered that before. Also, my husband and I were watching Harry Potter, of course, because it's Harry Potter season. And we were watching the mandrake scene, and I turned to him and I said, it would be so sad to cut up a mandrake.
Yeah. It's like not chill at all.
That's so sad.
You know,
I don't want to do that.
there's a whole like mandrake scenario happening in there's a nifty show on Netflix right now called Delicious in Dungeon, or Dungeon Meshy.
You've talked about that before, yeah.
They hunt mandrakes for an episode, and that one and honestly, I thought that Harry Potter's rendition of mandrakes were like the most chaotic ever, and I thought that their handling of the mandrakes was pretty chaotic, but I had not seen this yet, so it was a doozy, and now I feel like when I see the Harry Potter mandrakes, I'm like, thank God for those. You know, those are so much better. All right, I think I've kind of given this mandrake like a little tail, but I kind of want like twisty legs. I think he needs like more leg structure. So we'll see. There's an idea. Your basket is looking so good, by the way.
Thank you. I'm putting like little moss.
Yes.
Danglies, you know?
Danglies, exactly.
Danglies, yeah.
Absolutely.
Gotta have the moss danglies.
I'm going to refresh real quick. Could we do poll number 2? My mistake. I thought poll number 2 was up. We have to vote between roots and fungus, if we could. I'm probably going to, I feel like mandrake counts as root, but if we don't end up with roots, we will probably still end up with mandrake.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to vote on, you know, whether or not we add strange little guys.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. That should be a category in and of itself. Strange little guys. Always.
Absolutely. And I am also going to kind of incorporate some little fungus. I'm not sure if it's going to be a fun guy or not. It could be a fun guy. But for now, we're just going to have general fungus shape. Alright, I think I'm going to do like, you know, like the little collections, sort of like a bundle of mushrooms, and they're just like hanging out weird together.
Sure.
That's what I'm going for here. There we go. There's like a bushel. Is that?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks.
That works. Yeah.
Thanks, Cody.
Yeah.
Cody.
Bushels?
Cody is so supportive of me. You have no idea. Cody's like, you know what? Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yes. I'm going to do a little note-taking here. I'm going to say man, Drake. I'm going to say fun guys. And then let's see what else would be. I feel like I almost want to do like some strange lichen. Is it lichen or lichen? I don't know.
Lichen.
Lichen? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I feel like that could be interesting, and it could be like at an angle, and then it could have like mossy type stuff growing on it.
Yeah.
You know, that could work. Maybe little glittery, glowy pieces kind of growing on it. I'm kind of trying to imagine all of this. Also, was that a toe for a second? That you were did you?
No.
Oh, okay. At the corner of my eye, I was like, I see. I was like, my bad.
I see toes.
I said, ooh,
Cody.
Tootsies, watch out.
My Tootsie radar is going off.
Sorry, but yeah, my toesies senses were tingling there for a second. Anyways, I was making a point. As we kind of make our way through any of these episodes that are like game inventory, you know, possibly, I'm always seeing them like, you're a Skyrim girl, right? Like I played Skyrim for so long, and I feel like it's about time for another playthrough, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you pull something up in your inventory, you can like zoom in and you can rotate it around, you know? And so I kind of try to like imagine that sort of thing, as I go through these. Let's see. Strange. Okay, we got an amendment made to our roots, fungus, or strange little guys has been added, and I am actually thrilled to say that strange little guys is winning.
Okay, so that means that we're putting faces on everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna make one central strange little guy. Which is going to be the mandrake. The mandrake is going to be really like particularly strange on the little guy meter. Oh my gosh! Did you just give him a little hand? He's like,
he's got a little hand.
Hey buddy, come in. The basket's great. Like he's in a hot tub.
Oh no.
What are strange little guys? Strange little guys honestly could be anything. It could be any manner of strange little guy. I think a strange little guy could be a mushroom. A strange little guy could be like our mandrake friend here, which I'm going to turn to the side. Let's see. A strange little guy could be a critter as well. Because I think frogs make great strange little guys, and that's already a critter.
Yeah.
You know?
Now I want to add a little frog guy here.
Yeah,
I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it.
To be honest, I was kind of waiting for that sort of strange little guy from you. I'm gonna do a bunch of, let's see, I'm kind of like on the fence about how I'm structuring this. And I think, to be perfectly honest, I think I'm more confident changing a general concept of something on this show than I have been on any other live stream ever.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, there's always going to be that awkwardness where you're kind of like worried, like, oh, you know, if I spend a good chunk of time sketching this thing, will people be disappointed if I make major changes to it? However, I think that we've gotten so used to like coming up with ideas, and then like adding them randomly, that now when we do this show, I feel super confident where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna change a couple of things. You know, I'm just gonna maneuver things around. I think that's very healthy, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm proud of myself. Because sometimes, man, when you change something in the middle of a live show,
yeah,
my brain is like, what are you doing? What are you?
Yeah,
you know,
it's so nerve-wracking sometimes because then you don't always know where it's gonna go from there, and it's just flying by the seat of your pants here.
But this show is just wacky enough, you know, that it's okay. I'm making his little his little hand. One of the little roots on him is like a little
Oh
arm.
my gosh, I love it.
I'm gonna have him wave as well.
I love the kind of like geometric shapes you have going on. It's kind of like angular. Looks really cool.
I think that would be better because you ever start a sketch and you feel like, gosh, this is really like wooden in a bad way.
Right.
You know? I feel like sometimes I start a sketch and I'm like, this really could be a lot better. And it's just like the aesthetic isn't hitting immediately, and I need the aesthetic to hit to feel confident as I move forward with the piece.
For sure.
And I think it's kind of it's almost like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a consolation after you've kind of trained yourself out of doing too many details right at the start of a project. You never want to do that because really it can do more damage to your piece than not. You know, you focus on those tiny details, and then before you know it, you've like heavily detailed a form that is just not attractive. It's not dynamic at all. But kind of, I would say, not being precious with your original sketch and being okay with changing things, then kind of gives you back some of that power, if that makes sense. Okay, so mandrake in the center. Fungus gathered around him. I'm gonna do everything kind of sprouting away from him. So it's like not like in little boxes and stuff anymore. I think that'll be the vibe. Let's see, 16 votes and 50% of them are for strange little guys. Okay, all right. The chat has spoken. Yeah, the chat has spoken. What was that? What was that you guys were saying about we sway you?
Yeah, right.
We change your mind. Okay, so swamp. There's gonna be funny little guys, and I think we can go ahead and probably end it there for that one. And we will start our third, which is going to be glow in the dark or have faces, I think, is going to be
we might have to change that one up because we did funny little guys, so we actually have faces already.
We definitely have faces. So okay, chat, in the spirit of you deciding what our prompt is going to be today, what would you add in place of have faces? So glow in the dark and what? I love the frog, Cody, says Robert.
Oh, thank you.
I also like the frog. I feel like he snuck in there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't
just chilling.
Wasn't exactly invited, but
yeah.
You looked down and you were like, you know what? Yeah.
You can stay.
Yeah. You. You gotta go. You gotta go. Not you. You stay. He's invited himself to the cookout and nobody's mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think it looks like you have some broadleaf plantain or longleaf plantain.
Something like that, yeah.
Liking it. Let me see. You know what I'm gonna look at too is I've got my Pinterest up next to me, and I'm gonna type in just like looking up some reference. I'm gonna say fantasy RPG apothecary.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
Because that like would probably give us some pretty cool ideas. Like, what are other cool concept artists doing for this sort of thing? I did not think even for a second about adding minerals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your inventory with like crystals or something would be really cool.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, like if you found some pebbles, like that would be cool, and we could just do like, you know, I could put one right in here and give it like little um, little lines through it that would look really neat and give it like colors and like a little bit of shine, you know, a little pebble would be interesting. Put a pebble there. That's a good idea. Yeah, pebbles. I suppose tools as well, but
Mm.
you know, that's another thing where it's like, you know, is it necessary if this is the fall foraging? Like, I think tools are a given, but you know, it could still work. I'm also thinking like if this is a swamp, I could do some kind of weird seaweed type deal as well.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah, kind
something
of like go
aquatic.
more a little bit like nautical with it, like
Yeah.
yeah.
So something like that one might be interesting. Um, Hanging moss could be really cool too.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of like what are some swamp biomes that I'm familiar with, and one of those would be like Louisiana swamp. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like hanging moss in Louisiana. Let's see. I'm gonna see if anybody has. Key says miniature musical instruments. I'm not sure about that one.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about that one.
Shall I make my mushroom men a band?
Honestly, they're as you add more of them and they start to congregate in like a little group, they are looking more and more like they're running their own little cantina. And I'm not mad. I want to be very clear that it does not upset me in the slightest. So, you know, um, if you threw a trumpet or two in there, nobody would toss accusations or criticize. I don't think. Um, let's see, seashells. Okay, okay.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Glow in the
Yeah.
dark elements or shells, I think would probably be great because that, you know, definitely adds like an aquatic element. But we could kind of interpret that our own way, right? So let's do our third prompt as voting between glow in the dark or um, seashells. We can say seashells, even though it's swamp. I think that still, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, seashells would be found in a swamp
And
for sure.
speaking of Louisiana, I'm just thinking of like clams and crawdads. You know,
Yeah,
like that's
for sure.
definitely belongs. Although maybe it wouldn't be your first thought, but it is for sure accurate.
The first thing that came to my mind was a mud crab. So,
Yeah.
because you'd mentioned
Oh my
Skyrim,
gosh.
I was like, just throw a mud crab in there. You know, he's a strange little guy.
He is definitely a strange little guy, and you want to know what? I think my theory, my running theory for mud crabs, the rudest creatures in Skyrim.
Right?
Um,
For sure.
Horrifically rude, shockingly rude creatures.
Yeah.
Funny though. But it's like I feel like a mud crab can watch you destroy a dragon and be like, I'm gonna pick a fight with that guy for no
Right?
discernible reason whatsoever. All right, we've got our prompt up, and it is 50-50 on the seashells and glow in the dark. Although we love you, and it might end up being a tad bit of both, as is commonly the case with a lot of these things. Feathers is another cool thing that could
Oh, yeah,
go
for
into
sure.
it. Some kind of interesting feather, or just I feel like any feather-eyed concept is going to look like a leaf until it doesn't.
I think the trick about feathers here, let me actually
Ooh, do we need
trick
a full
about
screen?
feathers.
Full screen Cody? There you go.
There's something the difference between like a leaf a lot of the time is that a leaf a lot of the time would have a point on the end, whereas a feather will be rounded like this, and it'll come to a point on the other side. And then here's like the middle part of the feather. And then also a lot of the time feathers come out like this on the top, whereas leaves will just have like lines throughout like that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
another trick with feathers too, you can do like kind of some lines like this on a feather too, but you can also do like a little notch in it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that can kind of add to the feather feeling.
That is
Um,
brilliant. I'm actually adding a couple of those kinds of feathers. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch back to our dual screen so that I feel like these definitely look like feathers now. I also think, um, like with feathers, now that we're pointing out like the difference between them and leaves, I think that feathers also have, um, how do I say it? A much, much more distinct center line,
mhm.
because that is like how it grows, whereas a leaf,
Yeah,
sometimes the veins in that center, it's not perfectly straight all the time.
right.
Sometimes it kind of zigzags through the form. And then it also is very, very visible, like obviously in a feather, because of just the way that it's created.
Yeah.
Whereas like, a leaf is kind of just like, it's you know,
Yeah.
the right general shape. You get it.
Mhm.
It's tree hair, you know. I also feel like there's also feathers that are kind of like a kitchen knife shape, where there's
Yeah.
like more like a thicker, more dramatic blade on one end, and then like more straight down on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, there's my feathers. Looking good. Feeling great about that. Also, could not tell you the actual size or scale of this mandrake. Because
Right.
the items around it are getting a little bizarre, and I really could not tell you. Okay. Rock, some kind of seaweed plant, feathers, mushrooms, mandrake. Glow in the dark is definitely coming along. We got
Oh.
12 votes. Glow in the dark is at 75%. And I'm thinking, just in case, we're gonna get a little. I'm gonna go full Disney Channel with this one little clamshell. You know, like just a little round. Almost looks like a cat's
Yeah.
paw.
Yeah.
You know,
The classic.
yeah, classic shell. We're going for mermaid top shell. That's what
Mhm.
we're going for.
Mhm. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. If you're in a swamp, then an alligator or two might be around. That is a good idea.
Mhm.
Because we were doing little critters. And you know what? My brain instantly. This is where. I think this is where you and I part ways. Right here, Cody, is that like somebody suggests alligator or crocodile, and you would probably bring us the coolest, most adorable, perfect little crocodile ever. I already see you. Is that a tail? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yup, yup. Instantly, I was like, what about just the eyeball? What about just the eye? And really weird. So we mesh. We mesh very well. I just don't. I think we're in different departments.
Yeah.
Escargot are definitely an acquired taste. Oh, I didn't even think about snails.
I put a little snail on the top here because I saw Clever say escargot earlier.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to add a little swirly snail. That's definitely gonna have to be a thing. I love snails. I don't know how you feel about snails.
You have said that you really love snails, huh? That's
Yeah,
definitely a thing, right? Yeah,
it's a
for
thing
sure.
with me. Like
Snails are cute.
I make friends with snails in the wild.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice
Right.
technically. I've never been evaded by a snail in my life.
Yeah.
Um, And if I did, I wouldn't tell you because that would be embarrassing. But
He
yeah,
just booked it.
if I see a snail somewhere, I'll just pick him up and have a little chat and then put him back. I put him back, you know.
How you doing, little buddy?
Hey, guy. I will typically put them back in a better spot if I think that they might get smushed or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I love me some snails. I do not eat snails. If you eat snails, that's chill, I guess. But not for me. Snails are friends, not food.
Never had it. Yeah, never had it.
Me neither. I'm not sure if I would be able to, which is weird. It's kind of, I'm basically that meme, especially being like, I'm half Creole, so it's like, no, I'm not eating bugs, but if they're water bugs, water bugs, I already know 15 ways to cook them.
Give me those crawdads.
Give me the water bugs, all of them that you've got.
Yeah.
Can't scare me off. But like, if they're ground bugs, I'm like, what do you mean you eat bugs? Never eaten a bug in my life. All right, that's sort of a snail shell. It'll be a better snail shell soon. Yeah, 16 votes and 69% is saying glow in the dark. I'm gonna do some little glow in the dark. I'm gonna like just have more, because I already have like little pieces kind of coming off of this seaweed. So I'm going to make this seaweed for sure glow in the dark, and I'm probably going to add some glow in the dark elements to my mushrooms. I think that's where that's going to come in. And now I think I have my lockup. It is definitely not super well put together, but we're about to change that. As is typical for me in the last, 20 minutes or so, I will take the mishmash of sketchy lines I've been creating for you for a half hour and make them a drawing. Yours is looking so dang good, I cannot handle it.
Thank you. I added a little trumpet. He's playing music he's maxing and relaxing in the basket.
He's basket maxing. That's what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's basking in the basket.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Welcome to Drawing a Blank, folks.
Yeah. I'm going to get to coloring because I want to be able to have some glowy elements. I don't know how much time we really have left, but I'm going to try to do it justice.
Okay, we have
We're getting there.
I would say it's 11:38 Pacific right now, so like we have time. We have like 15 minutes, I would say, maybe more. And I am hammering out this mandrake. He's looking pretty snatched.
Totally.
To be honest.
I like his notches.
Thank you.
They're very nice notches.
And I'm going to continue them throughout so that it looks like kind of like, you know when you pull a carrot out of the garden and you're like, well, that's a nice slender carrot. And then you pull another carrot out of the garden and you're like, what happened to you in there?
He's a little chub tub.
Yeah, but like in a weird way. That's how this mandrake is. Something happened to him underground, and it's unclear as to whether or not it's made him more or less powerful than before. But give him some little nodules for his little handsies. I want to make it very clear that this mandrake can't grab anything. He only scream. Oh, but what if he could grab? What if I used the roots to get
got
weird
little grabbies?
Yeah. I'm gonna scare myself. This is because you know how I feel about grabby hands on things that shouldn't have grabby hands. It's
like raccoons.
Yeah. Oh. He has to have little body hairs, Little...
I assume you're probably going more of like the fantasy magic route, so I'm gonna go more of the like this is a cute little forest route.
That's a good, yeah. I think that is very accurate. Also, it would be nice if some of the fun little guys that are illustrated today are having a good time.
Yes. True.
Because I don't think mine are. Okay. This mandrake root is coming along. He's getting there. Mandrake tootsies make me uncomfortable. Let the record show. Misshapen carrot. I had a tough, I had a tough upbringing. Grew up in the dirt.
Molded by it.
Yeah, shaped by it. Born in it. I really love that the mandrakes are Bane now. That does warm my heart. Oh yeah, that's weird and uncomfortable. I like it. I love it.
It's perfect.
Yeah. All right, getting his little greens in. Let's see. Carrots tell some funny tales. It's true. I bet. Alright, get a little squishy scratch sketchiness going on in here. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay. There's my mandrake. Looking good. Ooh, that green is buttery on that background. Ooh, that's good. That's very good.
Fantastic.
I think that I am going to normally I will be like, okay, I've sketched one thing, you know, and I got to sketch all the other ones before I start adding color or something. I think I'm going to detail, like add a little color to my mandrake. And then I am going to maybe add sketchy lines and stuff to like solidify the other elements, but the mandrake is going to be the focus since we are coming close to time. We're at, we probably have about 10 to 12 minutes left now. So I definitely want to make sure we get a little something something in here, a little more colorful. You've got atmosphere, girl. You like, yeah. That's great.
Turning the lights on and off. Ding ding.
They're having a rave in there.
Yeah.
They don't take basketing lightly. The basket maxing is real.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering if I should experiment with changing the color of my line art. You know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because I've got a pretty solid it's you know, it's black. So I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, if I wanted to change it up just to add a little more oomph to the piece. I'm trying to think of colors that I would add. I am kind of inspired by your green there, and I'm gonna go like slightly more saturated, but not quite. And then I'm gonna try to add, you know how like a radish or a turnip has like a like a pink blush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that a weird, eerie green blush for
Yeah,
a mandrake would be good. That kind of fades into a yellow and then fades
for
into
sure.
like a turnipy white. Is
Yeah, that'd be
probably the
really
vibe.
cool.
Let's grab, like, almost feel like the background then needs to be also kind of faded. Let me see if I can add a little more saturation to my background there. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Love it.
mm-hmm.
It's coming along, yeah, a little bit more green, a little bit darker than the rest. Oh yeah, that's gonna do it. And then I think that the green would be fading from the top, because like there's the
Yeah,
greens, you know. I feel like
yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense.
cool. Let's go ahead and do. Is that it right there? Yeah. Let's do a clipping mask. And I'm gonna grab I'm thinking like a textury. Where's my texture? My buttery texture brush. There we go. And I'm gonna do like a little. Grab that green from the greens, and I'm gonna kind of paint this into, yeah. And then I can kind of add it into the creases of like the wrinkles, you
Mm-hmm.
know, as we descend down.
Down the mandrake.
Yeah. Literally opened my mouth to say exactly that. The only thing that could have made me more joyful in that moment is if we had just said it together. Oh yeah. I'm in Kronk mode now. Oh yeah, it's all
Yeah,
coming together.
exactly.
Yes. Mandrake is the root of a poisonous plant with hallucinogenic and narcotic properties. Yes, indeed. And in fantasy, I don't know, is Mandrake like real?
I don't think so. I think it's fantasy, yeah.
Because in fantasy, it's always a little guy that screams. I don't know
Yeah.
why that is.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's
Uh,
like just one of those fantasy lore
that we
things.
just accept. Like
Yeah.
orcs are orcs and elves are elves. You know,
Yeah.
mandrakes are little guys that yell. They're having a hard time everywhere they go. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then I think
According to Google, mandrakes were originally created in Harry Potter.
really,
Yeah. The
no
mandrake
way.
plant has a long history in mythology and literature in the Harry Potter series.
Okay, okay.
If anyone has any other information outside of what I just did in my Google search, I would love to know. I'm curious now.
Yeah. Funny how like they seem to be something that I feel like I've always known about, but then I was a Harry Potter kid. You know?
Right. I mean, Harry Potter's a pretty old series at this point. I mean, it's been around for
Yeah.
our whole lives, so.
I'm getting really sick of these anniversaries coming around that make me feel old. I'm just like, yeah. You know what? You know what the best indicator is, honestly, that we are getting older as far as the media we used to consume? Is that those free movies you see updated, like uploaded on YouTube?
Uh-huh.
They're not stupid movies anymore. They're movies I
Yeah.
like now. And my brother was like, "Yo, there's like, you know, there's free movies on YouTube," and I'm like, "They're always lame. They're always old movies, you know, that
Yeah.
I'm not interested in." He was like, "Not anymore, sis. They're the
Yeah,
movies
no,
we
you
grew
you
up with."
like these ones.
Yeah, we know these films, and I'm like, "Oh, it's us. it's us now." Okay, I am now going to group my mandrake, and I'm going to clipping mask to the mandrake as a whole so that I can grab like some lighter colors, and then I'm not only painting within the confines of my line art or underneath it, so I can change some little form if I want.
Wiki says mandrakes are real. Well, I mean, to a certain extent, sure, they're probably real, but
Not the little guys
I
that
don't
yell.
know if they're screamy little men.
Yeah, screamy little men. That's a great way to describe them. That's exactly what they are. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. And I don't know if I'm coming to the total end of a lot of my little concepts here, but I'm really satisfied with my mandrake though.
Yeah,
I'm happy
yeah,
with
for
how
sure.
it's
It looks
come
great.
along. So I don't feel like this is a win for sure. This is a cute little guy. All right, I'm kind of trying to like give these leaves a little definition, you know. Kind of trying to make them fancy and appear more. If I zoom in, the goal is to make it appear more like it's like foliage, you know, and
Yeah.
it's interwoven, so it's like a bushel of mandrake hairdo rather
Mm-hmm.
than just like some stuff I scribbled in to maybe look like leaves. So we're gonna put that there. We're gonna do a little darker shade on the underside here, and that is pretty good. Ruh-roh. You know what? I think I can draw. I think I can. I think it's official. I think I do.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Val just learned that she can draw, everyone.
You know what? Sometimes it's up in the air. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I sit down to do a show and I'm like, ooh. You know, you never know. I think some of these little mandrake root hairs need to be a little lighter. But yeah, I think that's just like, you know, we were talking about earlier, like the nerves, you know, of illustrating for an audience and like slowly becoming more comfortable doing it. And I more and more, especially with this show, like I said, I'm feeling like, oh, okay, I can just change something. I can, you know, gaining that confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence is something that you don't just gain one day and then you never have to maintain it. I think the confidence of an illustrator is something that you're always working on building, especially as you explore new things. But every once in a while, I'm like, what am I even doing? What am I doing? Everybody can see me.
Keith says mentioned in the Bible as well, so it goes way farther back than Harry Potter. Did Google lie to me? Are there screamy little men in the forest that I'm unaware of?
I don't know. Google has those new little suggestions up at the top now, and more than half the stuff that I Google and it comes up in that little thing, I'm like, I need to re-Google this because there's no way
right?
that's, you know, there's
I don't
no
think that's right, Google.
That sounds like a load of malarkey to me. I don't trust that. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be just my little mandrake guy today. He is
Your little mandrake.
quite my little mandrake. Yeah, my little guy drake. You know, my friend Drake. Okay, there we go. Pretty cute. I feel like I maybe should have given him more of a face, but I feel like if I gave him more of a face, you guys would be concerned. So I decided to keep the face to a minimum, you know, for this one. Maybe if I do a less creepy mandrake, he'll have more of a face. But not for this one, I don't think. All right. I think we are coming to a close now. I hope that you folks have really enjoyed this episode of Drawing a Blank. I know that I enjoyed participating in it. If you folks ever do any Drawing a Blank illustrations with us, please tag us on social media so that we can see your drawings. I'm going to kind of full screen my little mandrake guy. He's looking pretty handsome. Yours is looking so good, Cody.
I'm just happy I at least got to some glowy bits because I don't normally get to do glowy bits on this show, so.
But this is, yeah, I didn't get to my glowy bits, so you definitely came in clutch with the glow in the dark side there. We do have to take off because that is all the time we have for you folks today, and I don't want to get cut off. So thank you all again for joining us. Cody, you are fabulous. It is always
You too, Val.
so much fun hanging out with you. And we will see you folks another time.
Not
Another
next
time.
week.
Not next week, week after. Please stay
Yeah.
tuned because I believe office hours is coming up after us. So we're not done with the day. And we'll talk to you guys later. Adios.
Bye.